Struggling U.S. city offers $20,000 for workers to relocate there. Guys, there are actually many cities around the world that offer these type of programs, right? Italy, there are a couple of cities in Italy, also in I think northern Spain, where you can basically purchase property for about $1,000 equivalent. But keep this in mind here, there is nothing there. Right. And that's kind of the telltale sign, right? So whenever you hear a city saying, we're going to go ahead and give you some free money, understand you're in the middle of nowhere. But if that's your thing, if that's what you would like to do, kind of get away from the population, do your thing, right? But let's go ahead and see where this one is, guys. This is a suggestion via Discord. Let's jump into it.
What does a struggling store do when it wants to attract new customers? Often it puts on a sale. And what does a struggling city do when it wants to attract new residents? If it's the city of Cumberland, Maryland, it offers a bonus with a string attached. Nancy Chen has tonight's Eye on America.
All right, let's go, guys.
At the edge of Appalachia in the Allegheny Mountains, the regulars almost always leave Caporelli's Bakery with their hands full.
Thanks, Jim.
Just like they've done for the last 118 years in the city of Cumberland.
That is my grandfather, right from the old store, and that's my dad, Gus.
While Dave Caporelli is the fourth generation to man the counter, his dad, Gus, still pitches in the back. But over time, the city around their bakery has changed. Once Maryland's second largest community, Cumberland was known as the Queen City. Its crown lost its luster, though, as the area's three biggest factories all closed within 5 years.
What was it like seeing the city change?
It was like a real busy town. And then they started downsizing, one leave, another would leave, and we really got hit by it big time.
Can I talk to you just a second?
CBS News was here in 1978 when the tire factory began laying off employees.
Are you going to be affected by the layoffs at all?
Absolutely. No, I don't think so.
It's only going to be a small group.
Unfortunately, they were wrong. Yeah. Soon, the entire plant shuttered.
As companies left town.
All right, so they basically said 1978. It's interesting, right? I mean, think about all the things that were happening, the technological advances that were starting to occur, the tariffs that were starting to be lifted and also put in place at the same time. They moved a good amount of these companies overseas because it was just cheaper than hiring American labor. It still is legitimately cheaper than hiring American labor. So keep that in mind, right? I mean, if you're comfortable and super comfy with the price of your tires, you kind of have to deal with that or expect an increase in cost, let's say. This is not a regular thing that has happened around the country. A lot of these big booming towns that existed, kind of in the middle of nowhere, but close to like a slight trade route or easy access from water, these type of things, a lot of these towns have fallen, a lot of them. The ones that have persisted were the ones that were able to make tech money, basically, I'd say. A lot of these mines have closed down. We changed the way we were doing things. Some of these are smarter, some of these weren't, right? But this is just what happens with life, I would say. Never get too comfortable being in an area. Like now knowing exactly where this is in Maryland, let's say, and it was a old town that had a factory. I'm not sure that I would, suggest people to go here unless the city was going to offer like gigantic cuts in, let's say, property taxes. That'll probably be a little bit more valuable than just saying, hey, let me give you $20,000 in cash type of thing, guys, right? But it would be smart, let's say, for people that work from home. If that's your thing, then that would make all the sense in the world. But keep in mind, you can go anywhere with that work from home type of situation. So good luck to them.
People did as well. In 1940, the population was nearly 40,000. Today, it's been halved to less than 20. But the city is now hoping to turn a page.
Cumberland has always...
Last year, Mayor Ray Morris announced an attention-grabbing offer, up to $20,000 each for 10 people willing to move here.
We were looking for people that were bringing their jobs with them. We were looking for remote workers.
$20,000 is a lot of money to offer up.
That's an amount that could make people's eyes open a little bit.
Cumberland is one of more than 70 places that have paid people to uproot and move in over the past 5 years.
Is it radical to pay people to move to a city?
If you're a government and you want to bring people to your area,
Well, before remote work, you had to recruit businesses that were expanding. It could be difficult.
University of Maryland professor Evan Starr studies payment programs like these.
Now, with remote work, what you can do is try to attract.
Guys, there are also places that will give you free land. Keep this in mind. Like, there are a gigantic amount of programs people can actually access. There are a lot of cities doing this, free houses, free land, etc. But keep this in mind, guys, there's a reason why people have left. So if you go there, let's say from Manhattan or the DMV area, being that this is Maryland, it's going to be interesting for you guys. It definitely is, because you're not going to have a lot of the things that you're used to. It's a slight downgrade in life, but there are definitely some people who are ready and willing, let's say, to get rid of that super like uber urban, lifestyle. So.
Act workers directly.
He points to a successful pioneer, Tulsa Remote, which has enticed more than 3,000 participants with grants of $10,000 each. The investment has paid off, raising an additional $11 million in new tax revenue.
Okay. They can use that money to spend on schools and other local amenities. They can make a big difference in the area.
Dave Caparelli is looking for a similar boost in Cumberland.
That was probably in the early 50s. It was just a different time,
Seems like it was pretty bustling then.
It was,
absolutely.
Yeah. And we'll get back
Everyone
to
knew each other,
Yeah.
type of thing.
But if hope alone won't get it done, the thinking here, throw in some dough as well. For Eye on America.
All right, that's it there, guys. I don't know. I still would not tell someone if they were asking for any type of information on any of these programs. I would say the same thing to everyone. Don't take it. Like specifically if you are like someone who is still young and in your working ages and you're trying to start a family and all these other things, guys. I mean, I'm sure the real estate there is pretty cheap in comparison to the rest of the city, at least, right? But I still would not say, hey, the first thing you should do is look for one of these programs that can pay you to basically move there, because again, guys, there's nothing to do here. I can almost guarantee it. There's nothing to do. Like, you have to be completely fine with like traveling gigantic, distances to do some of the most menial things you are most likely accustomed to, encountering. Like specifically, if you are someone who goes out at night and you go to like parties and events and plays and all these other things, I highly doubt that they're going to be that active there. But again, if you are slightly getting older, you're just looking for somewhere to hang out for the most part, right? That's probably super quiet and safe. That's probably this, guys. 18,000 people left. That's half of the population in what, 80 years or so, guys? Guarantee that, yeah. And another 80, younger kids are not going to want to live here. Right? But if you are slightly older and you already have your family and the school is decent, then why not, guys? Specifically, if you're a homebody, that'll probably work very well out here, guys. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Tell me if you would take this deal or not, or would you take one of the other many deals that are out there? Personally, I know one person specifically who took the deal in Europe, where they paid €1,000. Is about maybe $1,050, $1,070. It's in that range, guys, and. You immediately think like, hey, I'm about to buy a house for €1,000. Bro, if you do not have the available funds for that, careful, okay? Because, yeah, you'll buy it. It's yours. But, bro, that house was probably built 300-400 years ago. Because a lot of the houses in Italy are like in really small towns. And where she bought her house, she had to basically come with like an additional like $75,000 in available funds, verifiable. So they knew that she actually could rebuild the entirety of the property using local labor, putting more money into the local economy. And she lives in Atlanta about maybe 8 months of the year type of thing, and then goes over there for the other remaining months, guys. So it's a cool thing to do, but you just need to make sure you have available income, and you're not going to get a loan on it. So you actually have to have the liquidity for that deal. And that's just kind of the same even in Spain and in all the other countries, and even in Japan, where they sell houses for about $1,000 to $2,000 with land and things like that. But either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day.